break from the daily grind and headed to the Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore, hoping to find tranquility, inner peace, and maybe, just maybe, a spiritual Wi Fi connection that would boost my life to 5G speeds. I stepped into the 150 acres of lush greenery at the foothills of Velingiri Hills. So serene it felt like it wandered straight into a National Geographic documentary. But my first thought after an overnight train journey, wow, nature is amazing. But where's the nearest coffee shop? Namaskara, Kayanana. Let me take you through the magical memories of my stay at Isha. My first stop was the Dhyanalinga, a place so silent that even my thoughts felt too loud. The first day happened to be a full moon day, and I got to do Abhishekam with the water from Kailash Manasa Sarovar. It was overwhelming and emotional, like my heart was about to burst in gratitude. But let me tell you, there's a catch. Sitting cross legged starts innocently enough, but 5 minutes in, my legs started whispering. 10 minutes in, they started staging a protest. 15 minutes, I am convinced enlightenment involves not feeling your legs. I adjust, shift, perhaps sneak in a subtle foot shake, but comfort? I'll take a chair, thanks. But then comes Nada Aradhana, a sound offering that melts away discomfort. Imagine stepping into the Dhyanalinga during Sandhya Khalas, vocals flowing like a mountain stream, singing bowls humming secrets. Despite the leg numbing sessions, I felt teleported to another dimension. Possibly that the spiritual Wi Fi connection isn't so far fetched after all. At Isha Yoga Center, food isn't just a meal, it's prasad, pure organic bliss. It's probably the cleanest eating I have done in years, free of processed items and junk. As I savor every bite, I think maybe I should move here. But only if they start serving cappuccinos. Foodie heaven is where I find myself, surrounded by unlimited sattvic delights. But then there is the battle that continues from Dhyanalinga. Sitting cross legged with a plate of hot food, my foot inevitably goes numb. Balancing the plate on one knee while trying to wake up the other leg before spilling everything is anything but peaceful. Also, there is a catch. Miss the bell and you're in the spiritual game of guess the next meal. The dining hall doors close, leaving you outside like a kid locked out of a candy store. The day I missed the last batch bell while deep in what I thought was meditative bliss. Oh, maybe just daydreaming about brunch. I had two choices: wait until the next meal like a true yogi, or cave in and head to pepper wine. Spoiler, I caved. The food was amazing, but every bite came with a whisper. This isn't why you're here. Mealtime at Isha was an experience, spiritual, delicious, and a little bit comical. My next stop was the Linga Bhairavi temple with a quick dip in the Chandrakund on Purnima. It's like getting a cosmic Wi Fi upgrade that tunes you right into Devi's vibes. The Abhishekam with butter, chandan, turmeric, and kumkum felt like setting my life to a supercharged mode. As this powerful ritual unfolded, I was entranced by two devotees performing classical dance, their devotion palpable and the live music transporting me to another realm. The temple's architecture is a new form of design, perfect for chanting, contemplation, and connection. Interestingly, the rituals here are performed by priestesses from around the world. And it's refreshing that there is no restrictions on women during their periods, except when entering the Chandrakund. The place is not just a spiritual haven, but also culturally liberating. After Abhishekam, the energy cranked up with a grand procession of Linga Bhairavi Utsava Murthy. Starting with an offering to Trimurti, Devi paraded to Dhyanalinga towards the eternally calm Nandi. The vibe was electric, energizing music, a fire dance, and a Maha Aarti that felt like a spiritual rave. Devi kept shining, adorned with vibrant gongam until the next evening, showering her grace on all of us lucky devotees, including me. By the second day, I was convinced I wasn't cut for this. I'm here for a vacation, not a spiritual boot camp. I complained as pain and fever crept in. I came here to find inner peace, but all I found are sore muscles and insatiable craving for chocolate. But hunger, whether for food or spirituality, pushed me out of the Alayam cottage. So picture this. I'm at Isha, just dropping my keys at reception, soaking in the serene vibes, and nearby I hear a woman in absolute panic saying, "Excuse me, there's a lizard in my room. Has it been chased out yet?" Now let's pause. We are at Isha, where even mosquitoes are considered divine guests. And this little lizard? Probably just looking for its own Zen spot on the ceiling, maybe planning a meditation retreat of its own. But this lady was convinced it was up to no good. Like the lizard was secretly plotting an reptilian revolution. Meanwhile, I am standing there trying not to laugh, imagining the lizard just wanting to check out the course schedule. Maybe it was interested in mindful crawling or how to stick to your goals, literally. Eventually, the receptionist assured her they'd take care of it. And I thought, hopefully, that means relocating it to a cozy corner with a little mascara and a gentle nudge. But here's the thing, being at Isha teaches us to embrace all life, even the unexpected visitors. Maybe that lizard was there to remind us that the true spirituality means finding peace even when the life and lizards show up uninvited. Finally, I stopped by the colossal Adiyogi statue, which looks like someone took a selfie of Lord Shiva and decided to turn it into the world's largest bus sculpture. It's also a hotspot for selfies, with most visitors striking poses against Shiva's gigantic backdrop. Standing there, I couldn't help but feel like the statue might just wink at me any second. After snapping photos with the mountains in the background, I settled in for the Vidarshan light show. Think of it as a spiritual disco where you're the guest of honor. But the highlight of my day, a ride with massive bullocks. These indigenous beauties with impressive humps turned into food critics the moment they saw me carrying their feed. They approached like little foodies and devoured their snacks with unrestrained enthusiasm. Despite the crowd and all the photo ops making me feel a little bit less spiritual at the statue, I found my Zen moment reconnecting with these hungry bullocks. They might have been the most grounded part of my day. So, if you remember, I was at Isha nursing a fever and some serious soul fatigue when I met this amazing doctor at the Ayurveda center. Along with some advice, she recommended I try Kleshanashana Kriya, a kind of cosmic deep cleansing for the aura. I thought it'd be like a spa day for the spirit, but day one was more like a cosmic hangover. I barely made it back to my room before collapsing. Fever up, energy down. Day 2 came with a slight upgrade, still not floating on cloud 9, but at least I wasn't feeling like I had been hit by a truck. But then day 3 happened. I walked in like a deflated balloon and floated out like I had just had a week long spa retreat. It was as if I traded in my grumpy old self for a shiny new version. After that, I went to Linga Bhairavi temple once again, and it was pure bliss. As I stepped out, I faced the Trimurti panel, this cosmic mood board that shows three stages of human growth: tamas, rajas, and sattva. That's when it hit me. My 3 day Kleshanashana Kriya was a live action version of that panel. Day 1 was all tamas. Day 2 was a bit of rajas. Day 3, sattva all the way, calm, cool, and collected. Who knew my aura cleaning would turn into a cosmic reflection of Shiva's own journey? So there I was at Isha, soaking in all the serenity and spirituality, only to realize that my spiritual retreat was also doubling as a wildlife documentary. First up, the peacocks. I swear these birds were strutting around like they were auditioning for a Bollywood blockbuster, all feathers and drama. I half expected them to break into a dance number any moment. And then the cows. These Zen masters were just chilling and napping in the middle of the ground like they had no care in the world. The cormorants, they were gliding across the pond like they were deep in thought, probably pondering the meaning of life, before diving in like they were trying to escape their own existential crisis. The bullocks, these guys were the unsung hero, working tirelessly without a complaint. If there was an award for the most likely to pull a cart without complaining, they'd win, hands down. And finally, the center lawn, where everyone turns into evening athletes. Imagine a serene sports movie with soccer balls flying against the backdrop of majestic hills. I half expected to see some dramatic slow motion shots as people kicked around like Olympic hopefuls. In the heart of Coimbatore, nestled within the serene expanses of Isha, lies a place that is both mystifying and oddly tranquil. The Kalabairava Kund, also known as the Nirakaya Sthanam. The name itself sounds like something straight out of a mystery novel. Nirakaya means bodiless, and Sthanam means place. Crafted by Sadguru himself, this sacred water body is meant for performing the last rites of the deceased. But for those who live and practice at the ashram, it's become a bit of a favorite hangout spot for meditation and quiet reflection. As you step into this space, you can't help but feel the atmosphere change. The air is thick with stillness, and the only sounds are the gentle ripple of water. The pond, surrounded by these stately granite canopies with face of Kal Bhairav staring down at you, invites a sense of calm that's hard to shake off. It's almost like the line between this world and, well, whatever's next feels super thin here. For many of us, including myself, this place became a go to spot, a little oasis of peace and quiet. The funny part is that I had no idea about the place's true purpose until after I left. Turns out, this beautiful serene lotus pond is where they perform the final rites of life. Who knew, right? Now that I'm in on this secret, I can't help but wonder, will it still feel as calming when I go back? Or will knowing what it's really about change the vibe? Only time will tell if the spot, once my personal retreat, will keep bringing the same sense of peace now that I know its deeper, more somber side. But hey, maybe it'll just add to the mystic. Finally, as I leave, I'm filled with a sense of peace, gratitude, and undeniable urge to tell my friends that I glowed after just one visit. So, if you're looking for a break from reality, where the Wi Fi signal is weak but the spiritual signal is strong, the Isha Yoga Center is your spot. Enjoy your trip and don't forget to bring some of the inner peace as a souvenir. Namaskara.